everybody, I'm Tony Geptis filling in for Donnie Miller on this week's edition of Bridges, and we are talking Toledo. We are talking about 2013, and we are talking with the council members who are sitting here at the table with me. Council President Joe McNamara, also Mike Craig, who's with the 3rd District on council, and at-large council member George Sarantu. Thanks once again for being here with us, and thanks for doing a stellar job with the city of Toledo, because I know these next couple of weeks are really going to put you to the test. These are the weeks that, I don't know if you dread them, but really it's the time of year where you set everything in motion, because the budget is crucial to laying the groundwork, the framework for the rest of the year. So it could be many late nights, it could be many early mornings, a lot of meetings. I'm not really sure of the process, but I know there's a lot of work involved. So maybe you can tell us, for starters, what is next to try to pass the budget?
Well, we have a special council meeting set for the end of the month, and this year's budget is going to be much easier than previous years, because as we come out of the Great Recession and more Toledoans are going back to work, our income tax is picking back up.
All right.
So it's still a challenge. We are still using money from the capital improvement program to pay for operations, and that's going to continue for the foreseeable future. But it's not like what we had to face with when our income tax, dropped $20 million, and we were struggling just to keep police officers and firefighters, from being laid off. Because that fundamentally is the most important thing that the city needs to do, is keep citizens safe. And you do that by making sure that you have a police force, by making sure that you have a firefighters, and that's my #1 priority. And the second priority, of course, is jobs. And as more people are working, that helps our income tax. And that is, after we get through the budget, something that we're going to be working on to make sure that we're taking advantage of many economic development opportunities as possible to put Toledoans back to work.
Gotcha. So this is a very different discussion than it was 4 years ago, suffice it to say. And yes. Everybody's nodding, yes. But still a lot of challenges, a lot of numbers to crunch. You can address what's ahead.
Well, you know what, being a district councilman, I'm always, I first look at what's happening in my district, and you know what, with the port in District 3, there's always a lot of good things going on there, but keeping safety forces is that's very important. We have some significant challenges with our utility department. We've got we have some challenges to look forward to. Keeping our utilities running smoothly. Those are going to be some big issues, but I don't think they'll be addressed directly in this budget.
And the budget's it's a 1-year budget, right? You have to pass it annually. It's not some operations organizations, they do a 2-year budget.
Right.
Councilman Sarantu, I know by day you crunch numbers, and then you take off your Clark Kent glasses and you're super councilman. But you also are very involved in the credit rating. You head to New York and you try to make sure that everything is in line with the city, and that's where the budget also factors in. How does the credit rating look, and how may that affect?
Well, we've recently got a credit upgrade in that we have a stable outlook, which is good, because for many years we've had a negative outlook from the Wall Street agencies, Moody's and Standard & Poor's. So we have made progress. And frankly, Councilman McNamara, President McNamara, is absolutely right. It's a lot easier this budget because we have gone through the tough times, and now things are looking much better. We have a couple of budget town hall meetings still left on the agenda. Tomorrow on Monday, Councilman Collins is going to host a meeting for his budget meeting from 6 to 8 for the budget. And then Councilman Riley will have his meeting at Grace Church on Dorr Street, right almost across from Channel 13, Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock. So there'll be an opportunity for citizens to weigh in on their concerns for the budget. And we hope to pass it by the end of January. It's a good, solid budget, emphasizing police and fire. And we also have the capital improvement budget, which we also intend to pass by the end of the month, which involves about 29 miles of street paving, as well as a new fire station in North Toledo, as well as upgrading and massive remodeling of the fire station on Bush and Erie streets, which is very important.
Yeah. For sure, and when people see that type of work in progress, you can physically see it. They think, well, things must be going well on the council level.
You know, the economy is doing much better, and you know, we certainly owe a lot to the Jeep and GM powertrain facilities, but the casino has done well. ProMedica just announced a major office building project in the Old Colony neighborhood, which means more jobs. So we've got a lot of great things happening in Toledo and in northwestern Ohio, and I think working together, all of us, really makes a difference.
There's a certain degree of scaling back also over the past couple of years, and do you think we're maybe getting used to the new normal, whereas we went down in terms of finances, and now we're slowly building back up, so it may not be the same services altogether that we had, but we're getting back to that level, and that's a comfort level? I don't know if that's a fair assessment.
Well, I think something that we've tried to do is provide the same level of services more efficiently. Like if you look what we've done with trash service, we've entered into a partnership with the county solid waste district to basically provide the same service, and it was much more cost effective for the citizens. And additionally, with some of the changes we've made to trash service over the years and going to the bins, going to the single stream, it's increased the percentage of recycling and saved the life of our landfill. It's extended the space because more people are recycling and less is going into the landfill. I think it's really important that everything that we do relate back to creating jobs and expanding economic development opportunities. So something that'll be something I'm working on this year is the materials recycling facility. Right now we ship recyclables up to Ann Arbor where they're sorted and then sold, and recyclables are a commodity, so sometimes the price of cans are up, sometimes it's down, sometimes we pay for it, sometimes we pay to dispense of it. But if we had that materials recycling facility here in Toledo, then we'd be creating local jobs here, we'd be saving money from transportation costs, and we could actually get a host fee for other communities bringing their recyclables here. So using, turning trash into cash is a good thing in a way that government can promote economic development, provide services to the citizens, and help balance the budget. And Councilman Craig brought up the ESID, the Energy Special Improvement District. That's another great example of using our resources to promote jobs. And we need to continue to think creatively and come up with these partnerships that create jobs, because that's so desperately what we need in the city of Toledo.
And you do that through tax incentives and also to try to draw in other businesses and then sort of create zoning areas where you could have a recycling center?
Well, no. We own the stream.
Okay.
So literally, it's a public-private partnership with companies that would do it, and then there is sort of a split on the cut for selling the stream to other people. So right now we're paying this company to deal with it in Ann Arbor, and obviously the shipping cost of it cuts down into the percentage that we get back for when the commodity prices are up. So using our own resources to create jobs is a really creative and important thing, and those are the types of things that we need to look at, and that's what we worked with the Port Authority to do in terms of creating the Northwest Ohio Advanced Energy Corporation, or the Energy Special Improvement District. It has a lot of names, but it also is helping to create jobs because it's using Port Authority financing to help people do energy efficiency upgrades in their buildings, and that creates construction jobs. And so this sort of outside the box thinking is where government needs to go in terms of creating jobs and balancing budgets. So I'd say we're trying to I don't want to use the cliche doing more with less, but we're trying to be more creative with the resources we have to better the lives of the citizens of Toledo.
Sure, and that's part of the new normal, I would think. That's what people are doing. And I don't know if you can address this or not, but one of the highly visible projects on the east side of the river would be the Marina District, and a couple of years ago there was a groundbreaking, and so far we haven't seen it go vertical. So is there something in the works, or is there a step that we need to make to get to there?
Well, you know what? They have the buildings designed. They're ready to go in the ground. They are looking for permanent tenants. They don't want to go forward and build a building on spec. They want to make sure that there is somebody there to use the building, and that you only get one chance to start this, and they want to make sure that when it's started, it's sustained and they work into the future. I would say if this is a great opportunity, if there are people out there who would like to invest in the Marina District and they have a project that they would like to do, I am sure that the current owners would love to talk to them. I mean, they're not talking about just doing this themselves. They are, if somebody wants to put something down on the river, I don't think there's anybody in Toledo that's going to stand in their way.
But something that fits within the mixed use that's out there, residential and business and retail as well.
Yes.
Right. Gotcha. So perhaps they need more partnership in the private sector with that project as well.
The Marina District is. It was the right thing to do to clean up a brownfield site that was right on the river.
Sure.
It is ready to go. This is the quintessential shovel-ready site, and we are. I'm looking forward to vertical construction. I would love to have had it started already, but you have to do it right the first time.
Well said. And we have the mayor. He's going to be speaking here in a couple of weeks, giving the state of the city. And Councilman Sorrento, I don't know if we consider you the senior councilman, but what is your take on the state of the city? What if you were to be giving, not saying that you're mayor, but if you were to give some sort of a bullet points presentation, what are the top things that are the state of the city for you?
Well, I think financially, I think the city is in much better ground, than it was 4 years ago, and that is important. But it's been a collaborative effort. The bargaining units have certainly stepped up the plate. Council has worked very hard on that. Certainly, the mayor has. In the private sector, we've all tried to work in terms of getting more jobs in this community, and that has happened. And we have to keep the momentum going. Getting back to your earlier point, we can't go back on a spending spree. Times are still very difficult, and our income tax revenues at the height of 2007, were $169 million, and this year we'll probably finish 2012. We'll probably finish it somewhere around 158 million. So we have a long way to go, and we still have to effectively provide police and fire services and take care of the infrastructure issues. Our streets still need a lot of attention. A lot of streets, a lot of neighborhoods have been very patient with us. So right now, I would say the state of the city is heading in the right direction, but these are still challenging times.
And not only income taxes, but property taxes as well. I heard those
Correct.
are slowly moving in the right direction.
Home sales are moving up. Property values seem to be going up a little bit. But this has been an unprecedented recession. Really the worst economic event since the Great Depression.
Right. And do you feel like we're out of it? Or are we? I mean, not
I
out
think
of it.
we're
but
moving
pulling.
slowly but surely out of it. But we can't go back to our old habits.
Right. All right. And speaking of old habits, Christmas time tradition, and it sounds like some of you guys tried to fry some birds this year, huh?
Yeah, I deep fried a turkey in my backyard and did not burn down the house. So my wife considers that a success.
For sure. and you did the same.
Yes, and the house is still standing. So it was a challenge.
Excellent. Well, maybe you can have a big fundraiser with the council turkey fry out up on the front of the steps of OneGov.
Sometimes we're called turkeys.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you want to address here while we have an open session, a couple minutes to just talk about any issues that are pressing down in OneGov?
Well, I think something citizens are concerned about is the crime rate and the shootings that we saw last year, and that's a real problem, and that needs to be addressed. We have a very low per capita number of police officers to the population. That's something that needs to be fixed. I think neighborhood police stations and fire stations are a good thing. I think they help strengthen neighborhoods, which is why I led the fight to keep the Bush Street Fire Station open. And if we can find a way to reopen the Northwest District Police Station, that'll make a lot of residents that live in West Toledo very happy, because at the end of the day, we're here to serve them, we're here to keep citizens safe, and using city assets to be anchors in neighborhoods are very important. And so I think that crime is something that absolutely has to be addressed, and the number of shootings that we saw last year are just totally unacceptable.
Thanks, Councilman McNamara. Councilman Craig?
You know what? I would say that concentrating on neighborhoods is very important. Since I've been on council, we have a terrific downtown, but we need to concentrate on the neighborhoods that surround downtown. The old South End, the old North End, East Toledo, they need some work, making sure that the capital improvements budget addresses the needs of neighborhoods, that's very important. And you know, this is something that we need to continue to work on, in the future, is making sure that the neighborhoods in Toledo become neighborhoods of choice. People want to live in Toledo, not that they're forced to live in Toledo. And you know, when we turn that corner, when all of Toledo becomes a neighborhood of choice, we're not going to have to worry about bringing jobs here. They're going to come here on their own.
Gotcha. And real quick.
More police on the streets, reopen the Northwest Police Station is critical, and again, improving police response times will immensely help.
All right. Thanks very much, Councilman Saranto, and we'll be right back with the remainder of Bridges.